General service is the backbone of government, providing analysis, planning, budgeting, finance, engineering, accounting, forestry, resource management, bridges, roads, ferries, corrections officers, sheriffs, and all the important things that keep a government functional. No government can function without a competent core. Rampant inflation continues to rage, decimating paychecks throughout general services with negative wage growth. Since 2013, the Consumer Price Index for all goods and services has increased by 30%, while averaging 2% a year. On the housing front, prices in the province doubled, while last year alone rent increased 3.8% provincially and 4% in the St. John's metro area. Rent rose faster than any other jurisdiction in Canada. The Consumer Price Index has increased by 30%, while assuming that only 7% is spent on housing. Most are paying much more than 30% since there's obvious lack of homes that can be rented for $400 a month. With rent and homes up 100% since 2013 and everything else up at least 30%, the result is a 51% increase in overall expenses since 2013. Air Canada recently negotiated a 38% wage increase for 10,000 flight attendants, while Unifor negotiated a 25% increase plus automatic cost of living increases. Despite successes in other sectors, repeated failures on the public sector collective bargaining front have not stemmed these losses. Wages increased 1% on average for a total of 13%, leaving the entire sector with a 38% loss. While two collective agreements had signing bonuses, bonuses do not contribute to the pension base and are taxable. A $2,400 signing bonus is worth a negligible 0.3% as a wage increase. The only people that benefit from a signing bonus are those who are about to retire, quit, or are desperate for funds. If there's money on the table for a bonus, it should be part of the general wage increase instead. Since 2013, the minimum wage has increased from $10 to $16, an increase of 60%, or about 4% a year. At this trajectory, in 25 years, a CG36 Senior Departmental Audit Officer would be a minimum wage job. There have been many job competitions with no qualified applicants that are now labeled open until filled. These wages are so low in the professional trades, accounting, engineering, and technical, that new graduates can earn more in the private sector than somebody who spent their entire career with government. There is also zero professional development budget in most departments, which degrades the entire public service. Unions and government share responsibility for the pension fund. Several changes were made to the pension plan in order to improve its financial health, all at the expense of workers. These included increasing the minimum retirement age, increasing the base to the best 6 years, and reducing the already inadequate indexing provision to zero. The removal of pension indexing in 2014 was supposed to be temporary. Canada Pension Plan is indexing, as do most other provincial plans in Canada. The elimination of indexing almost guarantees poverty in old age for most workers. Poverty continues to make advances. The living wage in St. John's is now $25.40. The lowest core government wage category, CG08, pays $18.49, which is 37% below the living wage, so many live in poverty. There is no professional development budget, forcing professionals to acquire training and professional certification at their personal time and expense. The health plan, while never good compared to the private sector, with its numerous drug exclusions, is now severely prorated for new employees. This and the lack of employee-sponsored dental care and long-term disability plans hamper hiring efforts. Public servants now have to decide, stay and fight for both themselves and their province, or quit and move on. General services can only function with a merit-based, competent, and continuously trained workforce. Unless there's an immediate corrective action to restore the wages to 2013 levels, plus cost of living adjustments incorporated into both salaries and pension, the entire sector will collapse.